go off of the grid. But the truth is we are softies, and we truly love our kids. So join us every Thursday night to laugh at all our pain. An evening in the Parents Lounge is the cure for staying sane.
That's awesome. Well, that worked out well. Welcome to another
I love it. Just cut to me.
It's always just a cut to our guest, Jeff
I love,
Lewis.
oh, okay. Well, I love it.
Welcome to another Parental Mental Health Thursday night here with the Parents Lounge. We got a lot to get off our chest. It's been a couple weeks. We had Thanksgiving last week, and we were Jeff was traveling.
I was traveling.
I've decided never to travel again for the holidays, but I'm Jamie Kaler, joined as always by Jason Gowan, who's clean shaven.
We're in the thick of Grinch season, my friend. Unfortunately, prosthetics were not working with the old beard and mustache.
You look like a baby, a newborn baby.
You do look.
I know. I look like the little boy from the movie Up. I know.
You know, like cherubic. Is that the right way to say it? Like
it is a good word, Jeff. Cherubic.
Cherubic. I don't know if that's right. Maybe not.
No, it is like a cherub. Yeah, like the little
cherub. Yeah.
Cupid angel type thing. Yeah, no, you got the right word. Yeah. Cherubic is the right word.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks to everybody. You know, we can see your comments live and respond to them. So if you have any input or jokes or just you want to yell at Jeff, we would love to hear it.
Yeah, and welcome people from iStream as well. I see Gillian.
Gerber Gowan. I'm not sure what. Baby Gerber baby.
Brandon's here. What's up, Brandon?
By the way, Gerber Gowan. When it first popped up, I thought that was one of like Hitler's main generals. You know, General Gerber Gowan.
Yeah, it isn't like Gaba. It isn't like Gaba.
Isn't that crazy? That's how my brain, that was the first thing I thought of for Gerber Gowan.
That's my favorite part about it is
Gerber.
That was the jump.
It's a Gerber Gowan. Gerber Gowan. I think we're all a little punch drunk, even though we are sober. I'm not drinking tonight.
What's that?
I drank a lot. We partied a little over Thanksgiving. I'm on a little I don't know, cleanse, I would say.
I don't drink on Thanksgiving.
You don't drink ever, really, Jeff?
I don't drink. I drink soda and I get high. That's really what I do.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a problem.
I mean, soda's not great for you either, I don't think.
Well, Jamie, do you want to debate this? I mean, I've gotten behind the wheel of a car with a Sprite and not had a problem.
Yeah. I can't argue you whatsoever. Knock on wood, my friend. There were, I mean.
But I do want to say we had a lot of people at this Thanksgiving, and it was like 20-something people. It was a lot.
That's too many.
Yeah, it was. We had. Oh, I can't tell you any.
I ran into your wife today. You know.
What's that?
I ran into your wife.
Yes, she told me at an audition. That's right.
And she said, "I said, how was your vacation?" And she said, which I mean, you don't have to tell us, but she goes, it was great, really good. By the end, I could tell Jeff was done. Jeff was on. This is what his wife tells me. He goes, Jeff was, he started off strong, but it was a long vacation. And she goes, by the end, Jeff was just done, like done. Yeah. I can't. And I
Jeff has a short wick. And I mean, I'm just saying, it's like,
no,
I can go,
sexually as well as temperamentally, I would say. Dude, here's my thing with stuff like that. Couldn't agree more, because you like the first time you get there, you haven't seen these relatives in a long time. And I was like, how are you? What's up? Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what just happened. Everyone like shoots all their stories out. They're out of stories. And then like day 2, I got one more, 2. Here's one last story. Day 3, you're literally sitting next to each other, just watching TV. Like, when will this end? I
Yeah.
can't sit here.
Thank God there's football.
And
But
you're
it
watching
is-
2 teams you don't even care about. And
No,
you're like,
I do not.
"Game!"
But I gotta tell you, maybe you guys feel this way. I'm never more unfunny and boring than when I'm at a table of relatives because I am not the same person. I cannot be myself.
Why?
I just can't because I'm just a certain kind of I'm just I don't know. I just like
But when we hang out, you're
profanity and
super funny.
all
Oh yeah, you can't be funny without
and
swearing. can you?
dark and I just like talk about what I want. I want to be my brain to be free and I have to be in check. It's like I don't know, man. It's just how I am. You're probably on everywhere you go. I'm not.
I'm not on for sure. For sure, I'm not on. But I am always me. I think. Yeah, Jason, what are you?
I've never seen you not be you.
No,
That's because I'm with you guys and I'm with people. But I'm telling you, when I'm in a house and I don't know, man.
I'm not the same in front of my in-laws as I am, with my
that's what
my
I'm.
own family. I can't. We're just not the same people. We're not cut from the same cloths.
Yeah.
I love when people always go, blood is thicker than water, and I always disagree. I go, that's not true because you choose your friends. You don't choose your family.
No, you don't.
And so I never understood the premise of, well, that's your family. Yeah, I didn't pick them.
You
I
gravitate
picked these
towards your
cats.
friends.
Yeah, these are my friends that I chose.
Yes.
It's like I didn't pick my name. I didn't pick my religion. I didn't pick any. You kind of chose it all for me. And so, yeah, I don't know.
You guys fucked and you had me.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. What? No, you're right. It's just, that's how it goes. It's tough sometimes, but I just tried, Jeff, for some reason, like when I'm at a table of people I don't know well, I just like kind of shut down and I don't know, man. It's really
Shannon
weird.
C. Evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and survived being around lots of family.
Yeah. I will say.
We didn't travel at all.
You
What
what?
were you going to say, Jeff? What were you going to say?
No. No, go ahead. You didn't travel at all. No, the food was great. I just got to say the food was amazing.
Well, let me ask you, is the food normally terrible in the rest of your life? Like this was like just a special occasion or was it just like, oh my God, it was worth, I had the worst time of my life, but the meal was so delicious, guys. It just was worth it.
Thanksgiving food is made with love. Always.
I mean, I'm into marshmallows and sweet potatoes, and I'm into turkey.
God. It's so funny you say that.
I'm just
we went to a friend's house I love these guys. They're super good friends of ours, and their daughter is best friends with Hannah. And so my wife, who she can cook, she doesn't cook very often, got up 6 a.m. Thanksgiving Day to like make a pie, a pumpkin pie, which I just threw out 80% of it because it was sitting in the fridge. She made a pineapple upside down cake, which I threw out half of it because nobody could eat it. It was only one other family. There was 8 of us, and we had more stuff that just ended up getting thrown down the drain. But she cooked all day long, and she made the sweet potatoes. So she had to get up, bake like 6 or 7 sweet potatoes, get the skin off, whip them, like pureed them, put them in the thing, and she put the giant marshmallows that are the size of Jason's head, like all covered them. So when you ate them, and she put brown sugar, like a coating of brown sugar, and then sweet potatoes.
Oh my God!
It was like
it's a coma.
It was like creme brulee.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
It was. You couldn't really taste the sweet potato at all.
I've never heard of brown sugar, but oh my God.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And it was, and then we had to put aluminum foil over it to get it to the other house. So we put aluminum foil over it. And as soon as you pulled the aluminum foil, all the marshmallows all had adhered to the aluminum foil. And so when you pulled the aluminum foil, all the marshmallows. So we had to get another bag of marshmallows.
Oh no.
Rearrange them on top of it and then rebake it.
Oh my God.
It was epic.
You had to redo it all. Oh my God.
And then we couldn't eat all that. I threw half that out. It was good. But it was really sweet. It was like dessert.
Yeah, I like
sweet potatoes a lot.
I love sweet potatoes, even without the marshmallow. I'm a big sweet potato fan.
Yeah,
I can't overstate it.
They're good for you. They're very, very good.
They might be better than regular potatoes. I really don't know, Jamie.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I would say alone, and this is, listen, if this is the first time you're catching the show, this is the kind of cutting edge stuff that we get into. You know, a lot of people will talk politics.
Trenches are talking.
Yeah, they'll talk about immigration.
Dude.
They'll talk about, you know, and we'll get into some of that stuff for sure. But I mean, let's face it, sweet potato versus regular potato. As an Irishman, obviously, I have a little allegiance to the original potato that almost killed us during the potato famine.
Right.
But I think the sweet potato, if you only had the potato, sweet potato all day, right?
Yeah.
But if you know you're going to put sour cream, butter, bacon bits, broccoli, cheese, if you're going to do the fully, like there's no fully loaded sweet potato. You only fully load. Hey, Greg Kenzo, sup.
Hey.
So I would say regular potato for me.
Yeah.
French fries. Come on.
The joke at our home is I always say to my kids, have some sweet potatoes with your butter, because they love to just pound it on. And it's just like,
I don't butter sweet potatoes, Jason. That sounds crazy. You butter regular potatoes.
No, it's both for me.
Yeah, I put a little brown sugar on them for the kids.
How come you taste so good?
Yeah, I've never put brown sugar on it, but it does. Yeah. I mean, I certainly would give it a whirl.
It sounds like you got a brown sugar issue.
I like brown sugar. I put it on my oatmeal.
Yeah. Oh, I do love all my oatmeal. That's true. Yeah, oatmeal with raisins and yes.
Raisins so bougie, buddy. That's you're in a Hilton Garden Inn and you get the raisins and the sliced almonds. Listen, this is the kind of cutting edge stuff we get into on this show. So we covered the potatoes. I think we all know which potato is the best. Now I'm going to tell you, you don't put raisins are a last resort on oatmeal.
I cannot believe you are talking like this. Jamie, who are you?
I had it this morning. I mix my berries. I go blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. And then I also slice up some bananas. And then I put brown sugar and almond milk.
Why don't you just poop in a jar, Jamie? Jesus.
I do. I've been pooping in a jar for a couple of weeks now. And honestly, it's the best thing I ever did. And I can see from day to day how my health is.
Oh my God. You're like 30 days like McDonald's.
Cole Cooper. Happy December. I mean, with a name like Cole Cooper, he must be an Air Force pilot.
No, he actually came to our live show in Pennsylvania.
But it doesn't matter. Is he a pilot?
Thank you, JC. Thank you.
I do like me some raisin and cut apples. That's insanity. In oatmeal?
Oh man.
I don't know about apples, but damn, raisins.
I like the cut up apple.
The raisins when you're at the Hilton Garden Inn where they have the little breakfast nook or whatever, and then you're like, talk to someone and they go, "Hey, are there any berries?" And they go, "No, the berries went hours ago. We got raisins for you." I go, "You got to get up at like 6 a.m. to get the blueberries. Otherwise, you're eating raisins like Jeff Lewis. It's painful."
Dude, I get to get up 2 hours later at 8 a.m. and I can have breakfast. I get to sleep in when you want raisins.
I didn't think about it that way.
Think about
every berry, but no goddamn apple. Yes, Greg Kenzo.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I got to tell you, I part ways with JC.
It doesn't work with the different texture. I don't like it.
Sorry,
you know
Jay,
what? One time we did. I would make oatmeal before I would go to my kids' swim meet, and then I'd put it in the cooler on ice, and it was basically like overnight oats. You ever overnight your oats?
Yes, we did that. It's delicious with some milk. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have a recipe. I'll have to give it to you. You can add brown sugar, Jamie.
Well, on the Parents Lounge website, the cookbook website we have millions of websites, and if you find the one TPL cookbook, you'll see some of our favorite parenting recipes that we do.
Honestly, we could probably market that book, a dad cookbook.
Oh my God, a dad cookbook. That's
hilarious. Actually, there's a guy, Henry Phillips. Do you know Henry? He's such a funny comic. He's
hilarious.
He has a thing called Henry's Kitchen, and he makes them, and it's part of the gag, but he makes the worst piece of crap meal you can ever, and it's hilarious. And he's such a funny comic. But
he has a series of sketches about having coffee.
He has a show called The Highwayman I think it's on YouTube, and it's blinding. He's just a guy who walks along the highway and his interactions with people, but it's like shot like a 70s.
Oh my God.
Mannix or something. It's really
he was at Acme a lot. I mean, I remember that's where I first met him.
He's such a good cat.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to kids. How were the holidays? Everybody how'd the kids do?
For us, traveling was, you know how it is when it's one thing when you're 3, but when you're 11 and 14, it's like you just give them a pad and they have a Coke and they're fine. Traveling is so much easier for us.
It's so much easier, but I'm really reaching a limit on the iPad, dude.
Even in a plane, like I say,
No, on a plane,
everything.
It's absolutely a throwaway. You have to go. Like, I don't care if this kills my.
Yeah, everything
kid's
goes
brain.
on a plane.
Yeah,
That's all I say. It goes on a plane and when they're sick. It's like those two things. Like, do whatever you want.
I had to take the one to an orthodontist appointment. You know that she still got the spreader, like spreading her palate of her brain, and so I had to take the other one with me. Literally, it's supposed to be a 5-minute checkup. Like, just like there's nothing happening. Hey, parental mental dudes.
Hey.
Is that Taylor popping in? I love it.
I think so.
So I had to take Hannah, and it was literally going to be like a 5-minute meeting. And she was like, "Can you bring my iPad? Can you just bring my iPad?" I go, "Are you telling me you can't sit there for 5 minutes while your sister goes in for the orthodontist?" She's like, "I don't think I could get through it." I think that's the problem is they don't know how to sit still.
If my son's in the bathroom for more than like 3 minutes, it's like, are you taking a poop or did you take the pad in there with you? Because that's how bad it is. When they brush their teeth, they watch it. When they take it to get food in the kitchen, we hold on to it. It's like
Greg Kenzo. I was in some 5-minute hours.
Yes, you were eating the pile of poop.
That's right. No, I made you eat the pile. I made you eat the pile of poop.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. Probably my favorite. We were so.
Does everyone know that you did? So if you don't, for our fans, not your fans, you should go check out Jeff Lewis's 5-minute comedy hour. Is that the name?
Yes. Yes, and also yours too.
Yeah.
The part.
But these were all sketches we did at Acme for years.
Yes.
And I was telling somebody else, Jeff, the other day about like, obviously older, different generation, and we would do a show in front of like 11 people on a Friday night, but there was still some kind of human connection. And I know people nowadays are like, why would I do that when I can do a TikTok sketch, shoot it in my house, and it can go out to the entire world? And I was like, I get that, but I also miss the human interaction of performing it literally 7 feet in front of somebody and either having them laugh or not laugh, I think is a huge thing that's being lost.
And in immediate reaction, I think you learn. I don't know how you learn about comedy unless you say it and you get a laugh or you don't immediately. Like, I don't
the only way they learn it now is by numbers.
I guess.
Which sucks.
Yeah,
I posted like my favorite thing I posted that I ended up doing in my stand-up act that really did well or something. I just did some bit and it didn't get any. But that's the algorithm telling you you're not funny.
Yeah.
Because people didn't comment or something and it doesn't have a life to it. But
my TikTok videos get like 3 views. It's pretty bad. It's
a different style of comedy.
I know.
I think. It's very.
But I think the live thing, I mean, I'm so glad I got that opportunity to do stuff live.
It's funny because now you guys are doing a lot of stand-up. Jason's got a show this weekend. I know you're doing a bunch of stand-up shows. And it's funny because you weren't really a stand-up back in the day.
No, I should have been.
I begged you to go.
I know, and it's my big regret. And I get up in the middle of the night and like, what if I had been, because I keep getting better in just this year.
No.
But it's funny, it's ironic. It's totally me. But the better I get now, the more I get, the more I think like, what if? I mean, it's a psycho. I'm a crazy brain. It's like the better I get, like, what if I had been doing this? Like, you should just be getting better and be happy with it. But all I'm thinking about is how much better I could have been. It's terrible.
I was talking to a friend of mine, a woman who has a company, and she, it's a clothing company, and she kind of built this thing from the ground up. She's killing it. It's going great. And she, I go, how's it going? She goes, you wouldn't believe it. We hit all of our holiday goals plus a ton. And I'm absolutely miserable. She goes, have you ever like tried to set a goal, reach the goal, and once you get there, you're like, it doesn't complete you like you think it's going to. You know what I mean?
Well, I have friends. We both have friends who are on staff and shows or whatever, and are millionaires, and they're the most miserable people you've ever met. I mean, they have millions of dollars. You think that would make you happy, but it doesn't work that way.
It would make me happy.
It
Jason
would
and I
make-
have talked
It
about
would literally solve every problem.
No. But I totally agree. But it would solve your problems. But imagine if you continued, like you thought this was the end all and be all to everything. Like, yeah, you pay up.
Dude, Kate Spade killed herself. She built this
Yeah.
company. Her name's on it. She's made purses that I ended up buying for my wife numerous times over the years or whatever. She jumped out of a building. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
It
There's
doesn't, it's
supposed to
like
be-
money doesn't fix it.
There's this number, and I don't know what the number is, but it says that if you make this much, that is the perfect number. to
It
make you
was
happy.
75,000, but that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. So
I
maybe
would
it's
say
100.
now it's like, it's got to be 250 probably.
Maybe
It's got to be at
that's a
least
lot,
250. In LA, it's probably $1.2 million to cover
Yeah.
bills and
But
whatever. But
anyway, you just try and be happy. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying doing my
I think
thing.
Greg just put it up. Click that up.
Oh, is that true?
200. It can't be true, Greg.
That's
a lot.
I thought it was like 100,000, but is it that much? You're probably right.
In LA, it has to be that much. It has to be. You couldn't buy a house with that.
No, well, you can't buy a house. I mean, yeah, this.
No, he goes, nah, I made that up.
Oh,
It was
that's
so
hilarious.
specific. I
Yeah,
tell my kids
That's
all the
why I
time.
thought it was real.
I thought it was real too, and it's not far from. I mean, it should be a lot of money, but it shouldn't be like there's a magic number. I just don't know what it is.
That's the key to lying is specificity.
Yes,
It has to be.
improv is like that.
We
Like
used
if you
we used to joke like if somebody accused you of something, and I think people do it all the time. Now they just go, "Now you did that." But back in the day, if somebody accused you of something, the way to get out of it, if they said, if a girl was like, "Hey, you cheated on me with Susie," you'd be like, "Oh yeah, yep, no, of course I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, yes, I'm saying I did." But if you say it in that kind of tone of like, no, you're right. You got it. I'm the cheater or something.
I'm the one. I'm the bad
The
guy.
girl would be like, wait, did he's saying he did, but the tone is, I'm so confused by his tone of voice.
That's true. It's like you know what I know that you know that I know.
It's a yes and thing. Of
Oh,
like, yeah, you got it. You're right.
You're right. You got it. Yeah, that is funny how you can make it seem like.
And then she goes, no, I have a photo of you. Oh, that's a photo of me. I got it. I'm hearing you. Why would I do that, baby? Yes,
You need
you're
to do that
saying
as a sketch. That is sick.
I left my house. I went to someone else's house. I had sex with them, then I went home and washed off. Yeah. Like
No, this is Karen right here. Karen, tell him. No, that's the guy. I slept with that guy. Yeah, that's the girl. She and I were doing it, baby. Come on. Why would I do that?
that's a funny sketch.
That would be a funny.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, she's right here.
That's when you lie. Like you can't. If you deny, they go, "Oh, I know you're lying." But if you just go, "Yeah, you got me," absolutely.
If you're also passionate, like, honey, I wouldn't like if you start going off on her. Why would I do that? I mean, you get angry about it and you start getting passionate about denial. That also works too, I think. If you just like meekly say, no, honey, I swear. But if you get
That was what's his name? Peterson, the guy who killed his wife, Laney.
oh,
And they would talk to him after, and they'd be like, he wouldn't talk to the press he wouldn't talk to the police or anybody. And you're like,
yeah,
you can't do that. You cannot.
yeah,
do
that was pretty bad.
You got it. And he seems so nonchalant about it. But there are cases, the Amanda Knox girl in Italy, they said she had killed her roommate in a sex insanity. Remember that story?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know she didn't do it, right?
I'm assuming, but I don't think
Totally innocent. Malcolm Gladwell writes about it in his book, and Bernie Madoff had the same. Some people don't respond the way we think a human should respond when in that situation. Like you would think they would just go, "I'm telling you, I didn't do this. I swear to God," but they don't. They go, "I guess I didn't do that." And people are like, "Sounds like you did it." And that's how some humans don't fit our parameters. And that's like, he talks about serial killers and how they are able to go like, hey, why don't you come help me move the sofa into my van? Sounds great. Yeah, it sounds like a wonderful idea. It's crazy, like human nature, how people, this whole thing in New York, man, I can't take my eyes off it.
Oh my God.
I'm so intrigued. Did you go on Twitter?
No, but
I'm not going to take one side or the other, but I'm going to, obviously, we do not endorse violence of any measure. People on, listen, we've all been affected by insurance. And not that that guy did anything wrong. They were up on insider trading, and he ended up selling $120 million in stock conveniently a week before the thing went.
Yes. And this particular health insurance company rejects more than usual.
So Twitter lit it up. Twitter's like, honestly, it feels like the French Revolution and the guillotine's coming out, where people are like, you know what?
God.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, if I had to invest in anything, I'd invest in private security, because my guess is the next day, every CEO of any major corporation, nobody's going through the front door ever again. You know, it's funny. He stayed in a different hotel. He didn't stay in the same hotel because it wasn't up to his standards. So he stayed in a crazy expensive hotel down the block and then walked into the meeting.
Oh, really?
But the guy must have known, like, everyone's trying to solve this
thing. Well, he was there for 10 days. Am I right? Or something like that?
At the hostel, the youth hostel?
No, he was in town. He was in town way before that guy.
Oh, that guy was. Yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But the annual stockholder meeting is public information. So I would have known he was walking in that morning.
Yeah. But the video looks like straight out of a CBS, like a television movie.
Did you watch the whole video? It's on Twitter. Like at the news, they cut. I watched it. I watched it numerous times. And it felt like, Jason, did you watch it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh man, it's on Twitter, and it feels like a movie out of Netflix.
Yeah,
you know, when you see a movie like a Hitman in Netflix, and you're like, that doesn't happen in real life, and you're like, no, it absolutely does. And everyone's like, oh, he's not a pro. He did this, he did that, he did.
Oh my God,
It seemed pretty organized.
Seemed pretty good.
It seemed like he knew what he was doing in the middle of the city.
Man,
I guarantee, and I would not say which one way or the other, but I guarantee a lot of people in this country hope he gets away with it.
He might.
I have seen the Facebook war go out for both sides. I have seen both sides battling it out.
The reaction has been huge. I've never seen a reaction like
on
this.
Twitter. I would say it was 90-10.
Oh, really?
Glad he got killed.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is listen. I would never promote violence in any way.
Right.
But you know, people have opinions because people are upset, man. We talked about my orthodontist, they would say, a lot of this is going to get covered by insurance. They still haven't covered any of it. No. And that's just orthodontist. How many people in the middle of the country, Jason, everyone else is like, going through medical stuff. They had today, one of them was Anthem they were gonna limit the amount of time under anesthesia.
Yes. I saw that.
Dude, yes. Jason, this is what they were gonna do. They were gonna go, well, this operation typically is only 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yes.
And so we're only going to cover anesthesia for 2 hours and 20 minutes. And if for any reason the doctor goes over 2 hours and 20 minutes, you will pay for the anesthesia for the rest of the time.
How
and people were like, and then that dude got shot. And then today they came back and they said, yeah, we rethought that. We're not going to do that one. And yet everyone in the country votes against universal health care.
Yes, and they were saying that people don't want the government to get in the way of your insurance coverage, but a private company that's making profit is also getting.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, Jay Sear, there was words on the bullets.
Yeah, deny, depose.
It's what the insurance company does: deny, delay.
Yeah,
there's 3 words they do. Something like
I don't know, depose or something.
Deny, delay, something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen the story at all, dude. Oh, it's front page. Dude.
Oh my God, dude! It's all it's 24 on CNN. It's 24 hours.
Well, Gina, I had really only heard about it when you told me in the car when I was talking to you the other day.
Oh, is that true, Freddie B? Oh my God.
What did Freddie say?
They took down their pictures of people. Oh my God. Ugh.
Oh, I didn't see that. But listen, this is if you worked anywhere in a corporate thing, for sure.
You're getting,
You know,
body
I used to
bag.
travel. You know, when you're on the road, a lot of times as the headlining comic, you would go under a different name at the hotel for sure.
Yeah.
It just takes one crazy person, man.
Yeah.
You know, and we've seen it. That girl from what was the girl from the sitcom? She was like 21.
Poltergeist? Well,
No,
wait.
not that one. The
Oh,
one who got shot. The guy walked up to her door and
yes. Wait. Who was?
oh my gosh.
Oh, my cousin Sam, like that.
Yes.
Yes. Pam Dauber's show.
Oh yeah.
I told you what happened at my house, right? Where the guy came to my door and knocked on my door.
My sister Sam. Yeah. No. Oh yeah.
Oh, this is crazy, dude. This guy
wasn't
comes
it
and
a
knocks at
celebrity?
my door. It was for a celebrity who ended up, I can't remember her name, but she's a singer and she turned out to be a pretty big singer. And this guy knocks on my door and I open the door and I'm like, yeah. He goes, does so-and-so live here? And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I go, what? He goes, does so-and-so live here? I go, dude, you're at the wrong house. And he goes, but this is the house. This is the house. Turns out the woman had shot a music video on my street.
Oh
And
my
she
God.
had walked down my last few steps from my house in the opening shot. And apparently you could see the street corner. And so the
Wow.
dude flew from the Philippines with his mother. It was his birthday present from his mother to find that house, to go to her door and profess. He had written a letter. He had a letter he was trying to give to me. He goes, could you give this to her? I go, dude.
Oh my God.
But had he come to kill her,
Yeah.
I'm getting smoked because some
Yeah.
lunatic
Yeah.
saw a street sign in a video. And I was like, I was pretty spooked after that, man. I was like, what is wrong with people?
Didn't Ed Asner just show up at your house once?
And
Yeah,
as I
that's
knocked on my
right.
door one time, I told you that one.
That's really funny.
With his cane. And he started yelling at me like, what? This isn't your
Seems like it.
house. This is somebody else's house. And I go, and I was laughing and I go, Ed. He's here.
That's
He's in the
really
back.
funny.
Come on in. I was totally fucking with him going, come
He's a
on,
nice
Ed.
guy,
He's
right?
in the back. He was super nice. And his
Yeah, yeah.
assistant, he was kind of feeble then. He could barely get around.
Yeah.
And he had a bottle of limoncello or something with him. He was bringing to the party.
I always liked
so
that guy.
It's so crazy.
I used to see
Like the
footage. I used to
insane
see.
stories. Footage of what?
They used to show pictures of him doing improv like in the 40s or 50s.
With Jonathan Winters, like the two.
I have my book here. I should pull it
There,
out
do you know how many
sometime.
people have told me I look like Jonathan Winters? I get it.
I
So
can totally see that.
Oh yes, I do see it. The eyes. Yes.
Very much so.
That's so funny.
Can you do his
should-
voice at all? Hammer
I've
Kelly.
never tried. I'd have to go back and listen to him.
He was
Just watch It's a
amazing.
mad world.
Oh my God, that wasn't that. That was the first movie I saw where I saw like 20,000 celebrities.
Oh, it's the best. It still stands
Three
up. Makes you
Stooges,
really-
dude.
Sid Caesar, Three Stooges.
Oh my God,
Phil
everybody.
Silvers. I love that movie. I know.
The list goes on and on.
See, this is the kind of cutting edge stuff we talk about on the show. We've covered potatoes.
I know. We haven't talked about dance at all.
We covered we covered brown sugar,
Oh my
oatmeal.
God.
Then
How
we
do we
went
segue?
straight to murder. And
Yeah.
then we're back
I
to
know.
celebrity sightings.
I know. It's pretty bad.
You know what I've been doing? So my daughter, she's in middle school. I'll bring it back home for a second.
Okay.
We're doing middle school, and Jeff, I'd love to get your input because
Yes.
she can't focus. I
Yeah.
mean, she probably has ADHD. She's my child.
Yeah.
Who's taking a hard stand on the oatmeal toppings? Jay Sear. Yeah, oatmeal. Banana.
That's the
Whoever did
apple guy.
apple, out. You're out of
Yeah,
here with
you're
apple. And
Jason.
Oh, I
raisins.
stand with Apple.
Raisins
Please-
are literally you
please
have
leave.
nothing else in the house, and raisins go in. That's it.
Oh
And
God.
then sliced almonds are just off the charts. So I've actually been sitting with my daughter while she does her schoolwork because she's on her iPad, and I don't want her to, they're 2 clicks away from chatting with her friends and doing all kinds of crazy. So
know,
I sit with her and
know.
she goes, I'm going to go in my room. I go, no, you're not going in your room. You're going to sit right out here on it. I'm going to sit next to you. And so I pulled out a book or I was writing or something. And then she went in her room and I went in her room and laid on her bed and I just wouldn't leave her alone for like 2 or 3 hours. And she was trying to do something and she'd get halfway through one thing and she goes, I can't do this. And she'd go, I'm going to start a different thing. And then I go, that's therein lies the problem. I finally found it. She couldn't she couldn't just start a project, focus, and finish it. Her brain, it's not her fault. Her brain is spinning, going, I don't, this is too difficult. Let me jump to this. Instead of fighting through that difficulty, finishing it and crossing it off the checklist. And so I looked at her plan book, and she wasn't writing down. She has no list of stuff that's due. It's just in her head. She goes, oh yeah, don't worry. I go, it's not how life works, buddy. So I took her, we had to have like a little extra time with the teacher after school. And the teacher was really cool and kind of helped her and goes, okay, because it's all written on the board. And Hannah's 11 and she's like, I got it. I go, I keep getting great alerts of like, no, you didn't have it. No, you didn't have it. Are you dealing with the same thing? And I think it's from the iPad and stuff, is the fact that their brain cannot finish one subject at a time.
Well, I don't hope it's okay to say this, but what's the matter?
Is that true? Put that back up.
Wait.
So that's an ADHD coping. Wait, is it a good coping technique called buddying, where I actually kind of sit with her and help her, or am I hurting her by doing that? I'm so confused. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, there is some diagnosis of ADHD in my family. So I can tell you this, that there are mechanisms, and one thing that my son does is he's allowed to take a Rubik's Cube to school because he needs to have something to do that is with his hands so that he can focus, but he's doing something, but it's not requiring him to completely focus on it. And so he's because I noticed that, like we have him take breaks. We have him, because you just got to find a way, because they can't stay focused. But if they have something, because I see him, like I used to do with pens or whatever, he has to have something in his hands, and then he can kind of focus better.
I remember you doing that, Jeff, when we were at Acme. You would spin your pen. I always thought it was an amazing thing because you could spin it over.
Oh, like a debate team kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Jason, are you dealing with the same kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Jace, I mean, he can't. It's like he is always presented with side quests in a video game. He as soon as he gets a new quest, he's off. He just can't. He can't, like you said, cannot finish a task to save his life. It's as soon as it gets a little difficult, bam, on to the next one. Jump to the next one.
And it might be pads. I mean, it may not be. Or maybe they've raised the spectrum range, so everybody's ADHD.
It's definitely pads and it's the screen moving constantly your brain, that your brain never has to focus.
Don't ever get a break. They don't know how to be with the silence.
Yeah.
So I've been reading with her too. Like we'll sit and read, and I'll read a page, she'll read a page, I'll read a page, she'll read a page. But like 3 hours of my night doing that. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I was talking to her teacher going, look, I want to help her as much as I can, but I also want to teach her to. It was so funny, dude. She was at her desk, and I laid in her bed and I was reading a book. I'm reading the new Malcolm Gladwell, Revenge of the Tipping Point, which is, I love that guy. So good. And so she was kicking while she was doing something with her feet under, she was kicking a soccer ball against the wall. Boom, 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 boom. And I know she was kind of trying to annoy me, and I never flinched. I just kept reading my book.
My son, that happens to me. Like, I know if they'll stop if I ignore it. So I always ignore it. Oh my
But I
God.
wanted to put my fist through a wall for sure. My brain was ready to explode. I wasn't even reading. My brain was just spinning as I was just.
We've learned, but it is about. There's a lot of things that, yes, soccer ball. I mean, there's so many things that they'll turn to.
Did you put this one up? Nina Jaden says, I have to do something with my hands or I have a hard time focusing. I started spinning yarn at the beginning of classes and that helped. That's so interesting because my daughter likes to sew. And so sometimes she was crocheting while she watched TV or something and it kind of brought her down. I kind of am like that myself. I have music on all the time or the TV's on in the background or news. I'm not great with silence. I'm
neither. I have to have some sort of white noise.
Yeah.
I can't be alone with my thoughts.
I don't even really hear the music or the TV. It's just there.
Jeff, I just don't like to be alone with my thoughts.
Jason,
what are you thinking? What is going on in that head that you don't want to be alone with?
Oh,
All of
man.
it, most like it's almost everything.
Now, can you see movies alone, Jason?
Well, not by choice. Like I would love to see a movie alone, but these
No,
people
when you're
never.
single. I mean, I know people that can't go to a movie alone.
No, oh no,
love-
I was I definitely. can do
Greg, this is your podcast. This is parental mental health for everybody. I love
Yeah.
the fact that you're honestly,
That's
we've
our
had it
favorite
before.
part.
We've had too many people commenting, but please
Yeah.
comment. Well,
Yes,
come on the
please.
show one time. I mean, that we've had people on all the time, and that is
We haven't
hello,
done that for a
darkness,
while. We should do it
hello,
again.
darkness, my old friend.
Oh my god.
Kenzo's our new Jobo. He's the
Yeah.
sniper. We always, Greg, please, we love it when we have a good joke teller, man. Because listen, it is parental. By the time we're all done, we feel pretty good because I got a lot of shit off my chest.
Getting out of there, yeah.
Does Greg have kids? Does he mention that? I can't remember.
Greg, do you have kids? I either have
That's
the music
funny.
on full blast or need complete silence. My kids are so sick of the new Cure album. I've played it maybe a billion times.
Oh,
It just
there's a new album?
came out like 2 weeks
did-
ago.
I did
Oh my
not know.
god, it's like
it a new
Disintegration.
singer?
It's called Alone. No, it's Robert Smith.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Cure.
But it's the darkest. Like the songs are called End Song, Alone, War Song, like a Fragile Thing. Like it's the darkest album and I can't get enough because I love
my
like
God.
the Smiths. I love when songs they seem upbeat, but when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, I feel like this guy's about to kill himself. This sounds really
Yeah.
dark. For some reason, that kind of
That's funny.
resonates with me. I just pick up the guitar when I want to hear music and look things up and play it. I'm like my own. You know what? No, I'm the exact same, dude. I have G tabs on my phone, and I can play basically. What was I playing today? I was playing a Pet Shop Boys song called "You Only Say You Love Me When You're Drunk." It was playing on
Is that a
guitar.
song?
It is. It's such a good song.
What did Pet Shop Boys? They had like 2 songs, right?
West and go. No,
West
they have.
End
To me, they have
Boys.
100 songs. I saw them last year at the bowl, and they.
Oh, so you're a big fan.
Pet Shop
Okay.
Boys are so.
Pet Shop Boys. Are they touring now?
It says, "I've got the brains,
Oh
you've
my
got the
God.
looks. Let's make lots of money."
Oh my God, that's really funny. Those are the 2
And then
songs.
the
I
other
know.
songs like, "I love you, you pay my rent." Don't. You don't know. Oh, no. We'll play some Pet Shop Boys one night. I love the Pet Shop Boys.
Oh my
But
God.
I'm the same, dude. Claire's been playing piano. I got her piano lessons, and I'm making them like it's been really painful parenting lately because I've been like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna change this, and so I'm making them play music. We're going to, they're both on sports teams and stuff, but I'm trying desperately to not just let them sit on their iPads. But it's a full-time job, and I don't want that job. I don't want it.
I think that's the key. Is scheduling them. Even if it's overscheduling, it's a pain. It's the only thing that's going to get him off the pad is having something scheduled to do. Because here he goes camping, like on weekends with the scouts, and it's like the only thing that gets him off the pad. I mean, you just got to schedule stuff. I think that's the key too.
Are you camping at weekends?
He goes now. He's old enough to where he goes.
There's
I
no
don't
Twitch
go.
in the woods.
He goes. Parents don't go anymore.
You're letting your son go into the woods with Scoutmasters?
Hey, listen, they, I can't. They promise.
I mean, your son's a good-looking kid, man. I don't know.
Oh no,
Hey,
Taylor, no.
Listen,
Oh, dude, we talked about murdering a CEO, and now all of a sudden, that's where I've gone. The Scoutmasters, I went too far.
I put
That's
something on his. I put something in his. He wears something in his underwear. It was like a
chastity belt.
A chastity belt, yeah.
Well, here's what I went through a phase where I thought that they were scheduling. There's actually an app called Screen Time that locks the iPad for a while, but I'm not a dad, so I don't know what the repercussions of that would be.
Yeah.
Boy, for a guy who doesn't have kids, he knows a lot about kids. Just teach the kid to kick some Scoutmaster ass and problem solved.
That's
Crazy
true.
robot.
That will do it.
So I had a different thought about overscheduling them. Like we were scheduling them so much that at one Sunday, Claire was gone. A chastity belt for the iPad. It's called a padstity belt.
Oh, that's.
I'll work on the term. Deny, defend, oppose. Oh, nice. Deny, defend, oppose.
Wow.
I'm still not convinced it's not the wife who just wanted all the money. You never know. Never know.
My God.
Never know.
Or he was like, what's the guy that wanted to That movie about the guy that wanted to get himself killed just for the. He didn't want anybody to. He didn't want to know about it. Remember?
Yeah, this guy definitely didn't know about it until he knew about it for about 3 seconds. It was pretty. If anyone did, anyone, I don't know if you want to watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't. But it's all over Twitter. I love how the news is like, what you're about to see may be disturbing, and then they don't show anything. They just show the guy kind of pull the gun up.
They don't
show.
Then
they freeze it. Then you go right to Twitter, and there's dudes just doing a break by break, frame by frame of like, oh, here's where he shoots. Here's where the guy goes down. Here's where he shoots again. Here's where he jams the gun. You're like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, JC, that's what I think too. Like it's personal.
I think so too. Absolutely.
There's so many people like that. I mean,
Yep.
Everybody has somebody.
Dude, it's every John Grisham book.
Yeah.
Right? It's like The Rainmaker.
Yeah.
Or the one with Travolta where they're poisoning the river.
Oh, the river
corporate
poisoning.
theft.
Yeah.
You know, it's like in a small town and the mill's pouring it in, and then the big time lawyer comes to town and says, that's okay. It's all about money. And then some up and coming lawyer with a Southern accent says like, but my client deserves better. And then everyone wins in the end. It's not how it normally works. Nowadays, it's like, no, I'm going to go to New York. I know when the annual shareholder conference is, and I'll take care of this.
I'm going to do it.
I got it. Yeah. But anyway, so my daughter was, Claire had left for the day. And so Hannah was home alone, and she was lost, like didn't know what to do with her time. And I took the iPad away or whatever. And she was like, I walked into the room. She was just laying, looking at the ceiling. She's like, I'm not good being alone. I don't know what to do. And I go, well, find something to do. You know, you got a million things here to do. She's like, they don't know how to fill time like we did.
Right.
Like,
not at all.
They're not, they're just on the pad or waiting for the pad.
Yes. It's like pre-pad, pad, post-pad.
Just walking around. Don't you? I have so much. Don't you?
It's pad onboarding. They're just like they're preparing themselves for the next. Like
we're going to have one night where it's just books because I started reading again.
Me too.
Yeah,
we have done imagination play only days where like they have like that for the duration of an afternoon or an evening. It's only imagination based play, no screens of any kind, TV off, and it does seem to work pretty well, especially with the twins.
What does that entail? You mean like reading a book, or you mean drawing? Or
no, but they have to do like their play has to be in like make-believe dinosaurs or like taking craft stuff and putting it together into like an airplane or a robot costume or something like that. It has to be like a creative, no screen-based play.
Yeah.
Not just that, but I saw this thing, and I thought it was a pretty interesting video. And the guy, he was like, say you're talking to your child, and you're sitting there and you're talking to your child, and your child's looking at you, and you're talking to them, and they're kind of, maybe they're reading to you or something. And now imagine you're doing that, but you're holding your phone in your hand. Your phone's in your hand. In the kid's mind, they look at you going, like you're connected to the phone.
Right.
You really have to put the phone away.
Even
like I really it's hard too, because it's a concerted effort. Like sometimes I'll sit with Hannah and we'll read for like an hour. I don't touch my phone. I do not touch it. And I know other people do, and I've seen it, and I'm like,
I know.
It's a bad, like if your kid's reading to you and you're just sitting there scrolling your phone, not cool. Right?
A little hypocritical, yeah. No, you're right.
To go like, look, disconnect for a bit and be okay with it. I'm trying, and listen, I'm an old man. It's hard for me. So I can't even imagine when somebody's like, in their 20s or 30s and really connected to that thing. So I don't know.
No, you're right.
Good that you can recognize that. I'm great at recognizing my flaws. I'm not great at fixing them, but they are.
There is
I'm
work
not great at addressing them in any way. I'll just let them roll right on.
It's just crazy, man. You want your kids. I was trying to write some bit recently about the hardest thing as a parent is when you realize your kids are just average. When they're, because you see, they're all pretty average. Not just my kids, like all of them.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon, some kid pops, but we all kind of have kids, and we think my kid's gonna be special. Like,
do you remember that Woody Allen scene where the kids are like, "I'm a heroin addict"? You remember they were?
Wait, what was this?
Annie Hall, where the kids are in class and they're saying what they're going to do when they grow up, like they're saying what they became. Does that sound familiar? No. Okay. Yeah. And all the
remember
kids
that.
are like, "I'm a prostitute." Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You have to
That's
see.
what average means, though. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Like what they really turn out to be.
For some reason, we think we're going to have kids and they're just going to do great in school and play on sports teams and they're going to be the star and they're
And I'm
going
going to
to,
be a good parent.
and I'm going to be a good parent.
I'm not going to get mad
And I'm
or,
not going to scream.
dude,
And
I've exploded and I know it's wrong. And I regret when they were really young, I didn't understand that when you walk up and they're like this, they have a glass of water, they turn it upside down. I didn't understand that they're just playing or having fun. Their brain
Yeah.
is so young. It was like I wanted them. There's no explanation for some things, and I wanted to understand the logic. Why did you just do that? There's no logic to
There
it.
Well,
is none.
I have a real OCD about logic. I'm a very logical person.
Wow.
You know, whenever you see the movie and they're all in a lifeboat and you just go, well, you got to throw that guy over. It's not even a thing to me of like, well, that's Tom. I know, but Tom's injured. He's not going to make it. We don't have enough food. Tom has to go. Like, that's just how my brain works. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, like, almost like Spock. I have a Spock like brain in a way where I'm just
Man,
like,
you're very
what
harsh.
is the best solution out of this?
Not to be in a boat with you.
Don't be in a boat with me.
Oh
I'll
my
eat you.
God.
I'll eat you first. Like, I'll be like, no, Jeff, you should get some sleep. And you're like,
Oh my
Jamie, you eating my
God.
leg. I go, dude, I got hungry. And you'd be like, but the boat only sank 4 hours ago. We've only been in this
Yeah.
lifeboat for like 3.5 hours. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm starving. I didn't have
Jamie,
breakfast.
there's a turkey right next to you.
I know, but Jeff, look at you. You look delicious.
Yeah, Jeff looks delicious. That is, I wonder what I'd do in that situation. Like if you're starving.
Don't you sometimes think, and this might be the darkest thing I say all day, but I always think like 100 years down the road. Like I'm speaking at a friend's memorial this weekend, and I've been thinking of all the stories that we did. And he worked on My Boys, and he was a really good friend. And I went to his memorial in New York, and I'm speaking at the one here. And I kind of have a couple jokes ready to go. And I was talking to one of my friends. He goes, "Is that really?" I go, "I don't know." He was a comedy writer. I would hope some jokes would go over well.
Yes.
But I just have this thing of like, he's just the first friend. We're all going. 100 years from now, no one's gonna know none of this will have any relevance whatsoever. So
Everybody in Wizard of Oz is dead.
that's so true. I think that all the time, Jeff.
Yeah.
I think that all the time. I think about the specificity of them shooting that scene that day and how that was the craziest, most important thing that ever happened in their life. And this is so pressing. And oh my gosh, if we don't get this done, and you're like, it's all so fleeting.
And people, hugely famous people have died, and we move on. Like a week later,
dude.
Else, yeah. I mean,
dude,
I don't know.
Movies. I watched Interview with the Vampire the other day. The Christian Slater part was River Phoenix.
Yes.
He died. He was arguably the best actor of his generation. They were like, "Oh, that sucks." Who is Christian Slater available? It would be.
Who else is there? Who's next?
And that's why there is this whole thing. I have this mentality of enjoying life, and I really kind of do on a daily basis. Of like, yeah, I'm good.
And I also remember that when it's all said and done, it's like the people. I mean, I hate to be dorky, but it's like it comes down to the people that you love, and I know.
I mean, that it is funny because you sit there and I try to give these life lessons to my children or whatever. And I talk to them kind of like they're adults, which sometimes is terrifying because Claire's 9 and she asks the craziest questions. This morning on the way to school, she goes, "What would happen if I touched the sun?" I go, I'm like, I'm frazzled. I'm trying to get her to school. And I go, "What?" She goes, "Well, what would happen if I touched the sun?" She was talking about space. She goes, "I bet there's no time in space." And I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, like hours, like it doesn't matter what hour it is. And I go, well, and so I had to have this discussion of how we're only telling time by the sun and the spinning of the earth around the sun so that we can justify where we are and how we are. But in space, it's just your own internal clock of however long you want to call it. And so all of a sudden I'm in this kind of crazy Einstein theory of time and space and touching a sun as I'm driving to school at like 7:00 in the morning. I'm like, and I'm like, I have a poli-sci degree. I'm a comic. Why are we having this conversation?
I mean, there's a bit in there somewhere. You can monetize. You'll monetize.
I should just write the list of questions. Claire, especially, she's so inquisitive, and which is, by the way, a fantastic skill in a child. But it's like you want to prepare your kids the same way. I'm sure my father, and I tell my daughter all the time. I go, I was exactly like you, and I wish I could go back in time and tell my father, I'm sorry. And I go, one day you're gonna go, I wish I could go back in time and tell my father how sorry I am for how I feel, but you can't. And so we all just kind of mutter through it and get on.
You just try to be a better dad. That's all.
I guess. Or listen, when we've talked about this, I talk about this in my act. Sometimes you meet really successful people and they go, oh, what were your parents like? And they go, oh, my mother was a prostitute and my father left when I was 2 or something. And they turned out super successful. So maybe that's the way to parent.
Right.
Richard Pryor was very successful.
Oh, I mean, you look at all the people like Albert Brooks. I mean, there's a whole slew of people who are famous whose fathers died when they were very young.
Yeah. I mean, I could just fake my own death. And
yeah.
These are the kind of hard-hitting topics we talk about on the Parents Lounge, from baked potatoes, brown sugar.
You remember the Boys from Brazil? That was the whole idea of the movie. Like they had to go simulate Hitler's life, so they went and killed all the fathers.
I thought Boys from Brazil weren't they trying to?
They created all these Hitler genes and all these,
not Hitler genes, but white Aryan nation genes.
Kids. So they had to go. They had to go make sure that their life is the same life that Hitler had. So they had to go kill all. When the kids turned like 8, they had to kill all the fathers.
Oh, did Hitler's father die when he was 8?
Something like that. But they had.
And then did they have to see if he was a good painter? Are you a good painter?
Yes. Exactly.
And then
put a mustache on him and
I'll have to rewatch that. I haven't seen that. I know it's Gregory.
Yeah, you'll see. I can't remember his name. He was.
That's funny. David Soul or something. Yeah. That's funny.
Who was in that? Gregory Peck. That's it.
I just said Gregory Peck.
You just said that on your
seconds ago. Yeah, I did.
Sorry, man. I'm really sorry.
Better painter than me. We have to run, I believe, because Jeff is going live. What are you playing, Jeff?
Fall Guys. I'm going to play Fall Guys tonight. I only have 1 hour. Mengele, yeah. Laurence Olivier and Gregory Peck. That's so funny.
Yeah, Mengele. Yeah. And that brings us back to
there is nothing.
No, it brings us back to the German name at the beginning.
Oh, that's right. What
was it?
I'm Gerber Gowan.
Gerber Gowan.
Gerber Gowan.
And I don't know if you guys appreciate that, but we started off. It was like a herald. That was like a herald at Second City. We started off on one, tangentially went around, and then we brought it all the way back to Gerber Gowan, who, by the way, was the lead character in The Boys from Brazil. True story.
Yeah.
Gerber Gowan.
Gerber
Gowan. I don't have anything wrapping up to say. Anybody want to tell anybody anything?
Well,
come and see my stream. I'm streaming 9 to 10. Check it out.
Hans Gruber. So you're streaming. Is it only on Twitch?
No, it's actually on. I stream on to 2 places, to YouTube as well.
Twitch and YouTube, Jeff Lewis, and you can go play games with him from 9 to 10.
We don't play games together, but
they watch you play.
They watch me, but sometimes we did have community Fall Guys.
Okay.
Tuesday, so it was good. So yeah.
I love it. We haven't done the show in a couple of weeks. We'll be back next Thursday. We'll start bringing some more guests in, I guess, at some point. But honestly, I just love these conversations with my buddies. Yeah. So
I watched the full show that we recorded live in Pennsylvania. Blindingly funny. There are so many great clips coming soon, so you guys get to check out some of that really funny show.
That's funny. Shannon thinks I sound like, just get down, Shannon. That's the worst.
Not that too much.
That's me. I can only do impressions of other people doing bad impressions of people, which is how I do it.
All right.
All right, that's it. We gotta roll because we gotta let Jeff go play games. For
Bye,
Jason,
everybody.
I'm Jamie Kaler, Jeffy Lou. We love you guys. Thank you guys. And seriously, Kenzo, that was a monster. Please.
Yeah.
All the jokes. You guys help us way more than we help you. So thank you for helping make our parental mental health night such a success. I hope everybody feels great. And see you next time here in the Parents Lounge.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody. How do I?